Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Medium. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and for those of you who are regulars, welcome back. I hope you like these messages. I will keep the intro very brief. These are, as you know, your September messages. A lot of it was channeled at the very beginning. Interesting energies, to say the least. I think I've said this before, we're all going through transformations and a lot of it is coming up. There's a lot of educational information I feel in these messages. So even if you're one sign and you're drawn to another sign that you don't relate normally, you might want to listen and see if there is something for you there, because I feel like they kind of sprinkled tips all over the place that could be useful by anyone, regardless of which category they feel into, because these are life situations that Spirit talked about. Also, for additional information as far as longer term messages, I will put those links down for you below. They are on Vimeo. There is the 6-month projection from July until the end of this year, December 2018. Also, the 7-year Uranus videos are also there, and that's a 7-year projection, so it'll give you the big picture of what things will be like over the next several years. But the 6-month is much more potent, because it's only focused on the next 6 months or so. Of course, if you would like a private session with me, that information is down below. Thank you so much once again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I always say, without you, I wouldn't do this. And what I do is something that I absolutely love. And I remind myself every single day how lucky I am to be able to do this and love what I do, because it isn't often that everybody gets to do that, right? So that just, I'm supposed to say, that just affirms that when you believe in what you do, things eventually happen. I think that message was for somebody. So I think that's all I have. Thank you again. Of course, if you would like to comment, information is comment down below how this applies to you, and listen to your other signs, for one of them may not mean much to you, but always listen to it at the end of the month or next month, because you guys always tell me that at the beginning it makes no sense, and then you come back and you go, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I wish you best of luck. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care of yourself, and let's get going. Hello, beautiful Cancerians. These are going to be your messages for the month of September 2018. When I was shuffling the cards and concentrating on your energy, I kept seeing the number 7. So yes, we know 7 in the month of July. So perhaps you fall in the month of July. I think that's when your birthdays are, actually. Yes. Number 21 is being shown to me as well, so that's going to be for some of you. But more than anything, number 7 for the month of September is showing me that there is going to be a lot of culminations in your life that will help you see things clearly, or determine certain things for yourself that you haven't been able to either come to before, or something that has been a struggle for you before. I actually heard the word brace yourself, and when I heard the word, I just went, oh, what does that mean? But it was not brace yourself because something bad is coming. What I actually saw, I saw a thunderstorm, and then I got the smell of, you know, when we have a thunderstorm, and then right after there's that fresh smell in the air. So I feel like many of you are going through your own thunderstorms, and in a very near future, there is this feeling of something new, the feeling of freshness, like a storm has passed and you are on the other side of this storm, and things are starting to look up. Things are starting to be new. There's a new beginning for some of you. Imagine the smell after a storm. It's just this, I can smell it right now. It's just fresh, new beginning. The sign of the Fool is coming up. So this suggests leaving your baggage behind, leaving old ways behind. And for some of you, it's a brand new journey to something much more satisfying in your life. This could be much more satisfying in terms of how you feel about yourself. You're changing the way you're you're relating to the world. This could be something much more satisfying with work, relationship. It could be any area of your life. But there are some decisions for you to make. And I want to stress, when I was saying brace yourself, it's not because something else is going to happen, something bad is going to happen, but in fact that something brand new is about to transpire, and it feels really good. It feels like a brand new chapter. So that's what I got for you right away. The number 7, just going back to the number 7, it is, I keep hearing number of transitions. I don't generally think of that number as transitions, but I'm being shown the word transitions, where many times you will have a lot of light bulb moments as you go through the proverbial transitions, as we are going at this time. The card that represents the overall message, I just kind of picked some cards and I just kind of said, okay, show me. You have the card being mentors. So there's a couple of things that I'm seeing here. In the month of September, you might find yourself being guided by someone or something that is not visible to you in a certain direction. You might be someone who solicits someone to guide you, whether a lawyer, whether a life coach, whether a counselor, a therapist, a friend. Don't be surprised if in the month of September you find yourself under a lot of guidance. Guidance also, to me, speaks to being guided internally. In other words, you might find that in the month of September your intuition becomes very, very strong, and you will rely on that as your guidance system for the majority of the time. Obviously, lose your logic. I always say it's never one or the other. It's always a blend of both. But that's what's coming up for you, at least for some of you. Transitions, obviously transitions. For some of you, or for those of you who are in a profession of helping others, you might find yourself that you are counseling or mentoring other people. You might be an actual mentor, you might be a counselor, or you might be a good Samaritan who really has a lot of wisdom, and people come to you for guidance and you know exactly what to say at the exact right moment in order to make somebody feel good. So there's those energies that are coming up. Either you are getting guidance, you will be giving up guidance, or both. And I feel that is also transitioning over to October. So that's going to be an energy that's going to stay with you for a couple of months. Now, you have message in a bottle in reverse. And when I see this, it tells me that you are in fact getting signs, but perhaps you are choosing to either not to see them or not to consider them for whatever reason. For some of you, particularly if you are stuck in a relationship that isn't serving you, and you are choosing to not acknowledge the very obvious signs, you might want to reconsider that idea at this time. And clearly this is going to be for some of you and not for some of you. So you will know exactly what I'm talking about. You're in a relationship, you're in a situation, you're in a job, in a friendship, something that isn't serving you, and for many of you is something that actually makes you feel very stuck inside, like you're just stuck. Chances are you are being guided, but you are choosing not to see it. So there's a little bit of a warning flag as if to say, don't fool yourself. It's very evident what it is that you need to do. Now, because I saw the thunderstorm and I smelled the fresh air, chances are you are moving into something very new. Now, I always say, just because I'm seeing something new doesn't mean you have to get rid of your situation. It just means that your situation might have to change in order for it to function differently than it has been up until this point. So those of you who know this is about for you, you'll understand it. And if you don't understand it at first, listen to it at the end of the month. You actually have a Page of Swords, which is very interesting because this to me is also a messenger. It's news and it's something that makes you think. So the message pretty much is the same. So what I want to say here is, don't ignore the signs if in fact you have them. And if you honestly say, I don't see any signs, then it might be that you don't know where to look for it, or you dismiss them as coincidence. So that's going to be for some of you, and it's going to make sense or not make sense. Then you have by the book in reverse and deep knowing. So a couple of things. With the deep knowing in protection position, this is about what are you choosing not to see? What are you choosing not to know about yourself? What are you choosing to keep your eyes closed on? What is it in your life that you'd rather not acknowledge? We all have those things. Sometimes we keep them for a long time. Sometimes we deal with them. But because there's clearly a new beginning and you're getting messages, chances are there's something that needs to be revealed, to be put out in the open in order to be dealt with effectively. And I'm being asked to say that a lot of the times we will be afraid to voice something because we feel that if we do, something bad might happen. Where the reality is that oftentimes when we do that, something opposite happens. Something good comes out as a result. So initially it may feel very scary, but at the end of the day, it is usually the best thing you could have done. So there's a bit of an encouragement here to not turn a blind eye. So this is something that you are choosing not to see about yourself, or you are choosing not to see about somebody else or a situation. Virtually the same message as you're getting messages and not choosing to look at them. So it's clearly going in one direction. And then you have by the book in reverse. So this is about paving your own path. This is about making sure that you don't fall into a trap that keeps you stuck for the sense of belonging. Now, we all need to belong. Every single human being, I believe, needs to belong. It's why we are humans. But if we look for the sense of belonging in the wrong places, as in a relationship that fundamentally doesn't serve you, then chances are you're not feeling that anyway. So it's time to face the truth, or it's time to pull down the curtains and see some of the things that you are trying not to see. And obviously that's not going to be for many of you, or for a lot of you. I hope not. It's going to be for some of you. And this can range from something really big to something quite small. And chances are it's somewhere in between. Because you also have Five of Swords. This is a card of defeat. This is a fight. This is having gone through a battle and feeling a sense of loss. So maybe that's why you will be seeking guidance. Maybe you have somebody in your life that feels this way, and you are the one who is going to give them guidance. Chances are, though, that you are the one receiving, more so than anything else, but also you are the one guiding. One of the messages that I also have here is complete surrender. Now, what does surrender mean? Surrender means that when life presents situations in your life and you've done everything you possibly can to maneuver through it the best you can, and you're at the point where you don't know what to do, chances are you just need to let this unfold. So complete surrender. Complete surrender does not mean giving up. Complete surrender means more go with the flow. Surrender your ego. Ego is the one that gets us trapped, because ego is the one that needs to be safe. And we cling to our old ways. We cling to our patterns because in a strange way, this is what makes us feel safe. But chances are, if this is being addressed with you, some of the patterns that you are clinging onto are not very healthy. And some of the patterns are pertaining to your family. Maybe you have some unhealthy patterns stemming from your home, where you came from a home where it was a freaking disaster, where it was chaotic, where parents fought, where you didn't feel internal stability. And now in your own relationships, because you don't feel stable inside, you put all your bet and all your money on somebody else to give you stability. But chances are that's not what's happening. So if you are going through some transitions, if certain things are trying to be visible to you, if a new way is wanting to come to you, you have to allow things to happen, which is surrender to the process. Not give up, but surrender. For those of you who this is supposed to mean something, the real important thing is, what is it that you want for yourself at this point in your life? And you may say gazillion things. Try to reduce it to few and try to pinpoint the feeling. So at the end of the day, most people that I speak to say after a pause, well, I just want to be happy. Brilliant. Then you have to go to step 2 and define what happiness really means to you. If the idea of happiness is you being with someone and everything outside of that is you're not happy, well, chances are it's going to be a bit of a struggle, right? If your idea of happiness is to feel solid inside, chances are that is not how you feel right now. So then the next question is, what can I do for myself and towards myself in order to help me solidify a stronger foundations within me? Because I will always say this, and it always comes back to us inside. The stronger you are inside, the more opportunities will be presented to you that are likewise. In other words, the more solid you feel, the more solid partners you will attract, the more solid jobs you will attract, the more solid life situation and friendships you will attract, and the more solid health you will attract. Bottom line is this: if you are not feeling healthy inside, your relationships are not going to be healthy, your work environment is not going to be healthy, your friendships are not going to be very healthy. There's always going to be something that's not really functioning very well. And because you have the message of needing to be very honest with yourself and not turning a blind eye on certain situation and needing to pave your own way and not cling to the old that doesn't serve you anymore, chances are there are some things in your life that you need to address. Again, I'm being shown the number 7. So number 7, again, is an indication, I'm going to say it again, where a lot of aha moments will present themselves to you. When we go through transformation, we often look for things to make them better. And oftentimes what happens is we try looking at things from a different perspective, and the change of perspective is what actually makes things better. So an example would be, let's say you are stuck in a situation in a job where it doesn't pay you well, and it's just you've been struggling, and it's just you want to make more money, but it's just not working. So if that's the case, quitting your job tomorrow isn't going to fundamentally make you feel better. As a matter of fact, it's going to make you feel even less stable inside. So you need to look at the situation, ask yourself, how have I contributed to it? Not by blame, but by acknowledging that what you believe is what you attract. And some of you will fight this notion, and that's okay. That is okay. All you have to do is look at your life, look how you feel inside, and look at the patterns and see if they coincide. Because chances are 99.999% that when you are really honest with yourself, you will see that very, very clearly. So you will not be missing the signs. And have faith in yourself. Believe that you are more than what you currently believe you are. He says, say that again. Give yourself the opportunity to feel more about yourself than you currently do. So if you don't feel very good inside, ask yourself, what are some of the things that I can do for myself that will make me feel good? It doesn't require money. It doesn't require anything. Simple steps to take care of yourself, take care of your emotions, take care of your emotional needs. Anything that you can do to nurture yourself has to be number 1 priority, because everything outside of that, it will always fall short. There's always something that just isn't working because we're not coming from a solid foundation. And I'm being drawn a circle, which is a sign of completion. So many of you are completing a cycle. It's the proverbial number 10. For some of you, this is going to be more relevant in October, more so than in September, but you might see signs of it in September. Again, I'm being asked to say this doesn't mean anything bad. It simply means you are moving to a place in your life, many of you, where things are going to be better. But in order for you to get there, you first have to give up the things that don't make you feel that don't make you feel that now. And a lot of the time we will resist because, well, we like to cling on to the past. It makes us feel safe and familiar, but it's an illusion because there is no safety in it. And number 15, why am I making sure number 15? Is that the devil card? Is that the devil, 15? Is that 15? Okay, so 15 is the devil, I believe. This is how much I know about cards. So that's the devil inside of you, not the actual devil. I don't believe in devil. What are the inner demons that are keeping you stuck? What are the inner demons that are keeping you in your own inner prison? Face those. And that's all I'm going to have for you. I hope this is helpful. Again, if it makes no sense to you, listen to it later. At some point, it eventually does. That's what you always tell me. For private session, that information is down below. Thank you again so much. I wish you best of luck. We're all going through amazing transitions. I am no different. So I do wish you best of luck. Thank you again so much for choosing me to be a bit of your guide. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.